All right, what is going on, my boxing family? It is your boy Martin, aka the Boxing Purist. Welcome to the Truth and Absolute channel, where I speak the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me, good God Almighty. All right, y'all, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video. Let's get right into this one, man. So I gotta say something, man. I was wrong, okay? Your boy Truth was wrong about the situation that happened with Teofimo Lopez and Subriel Matias in that fight not being made. Now, originally, I wasn't quite sure what happened. All I heard, like you guys heard, that Teofimo Lopez pretty much priced himself out, that he was asking for a number that was not realistic. Therefore, I assumed that Teofimo Lopez wanted a pay-per-view event against a Subriel Matias, and that's why it didn't go forth, and it wasn't realistic and all the above. And I said that Teo priced himself out. Well, guess what? I was wrong. I saw a video today of Teofimo Lopez explaining exactly why that fight fell through with Subriel Matias. Now, I was completely wrong on this one, and let me explain it to y'all really quick. So I guess what was going on with this fight is that Bob Arum over at Top Rank wanted to make the fight between Subriel Matias and Teofimo Lopez in the West Coast in Las Vegas, pretty much at the T-Mobile Arena, and make it a pay-per-view event, in which it looks like Teofimo Lopez was not going to get a guaranteed purse. It was going to be more off of the fight pay-per-view sales and maybe some of the sales inside of the arena. So it wasn't a sure purse. You know, he could have made a little bit of money, he could have made a lot of money, but it was really in the air. And the way that Teofimo Lopez saw it is that a fighter like Subriel Matias would not get a lot of love. There wouldn't be a huge crowd to watch him on the West Coast, being that he's a Puerto Rican fighter. Teofimo Lopez thought that the location for the fight would have been better on the East Coast, maybe in New York somewhere, not on a pay-per-view. Okay, so Teofimo Lopez was not trying to have the fight on a pay-per-view while Top Rank does. And you might be asking, why wouldn't Teofimo Lopez want the fight on a pay-per-view? Well, one, let me tell you something, man. Teofimo's a lot smarter than we think he is. He said, one, he doesn't want his stock to fall as far as pay-per-view goes. And what he means by that is that he doesn't want to be a part of a pay-per-view card that flops, okay? There's been too many pay-per-view cards that simply flop because they're not pay-per-view worthy fights. And I've talked about this many times on my videos in the past. You take a fight like this one, for example, Teofimo Lopez and Subriel Matias, and you put it on pay-per-view, it's a really iffy fight. We would appreciate the fight, but then you ask yourself, does Top Rank have enough fighters in their stable to be able to create a great event for this venue in Las Vegas and make it a pay-per-view fight and make it something that's appealing to us, the fans, to want to pay money for people to want to fly out and go to see? Is it going to pack the arena? And Teofimo Lopez said, no, this is not the fight to do it. Top Rank does not have the fighters to make an event that's going to carry something big like that. So in Teofimo's eyes, he wanted to make it on the East Coast somewhere, not on pay-per-view, and he wanted a guaranteed purse of $3.5 million. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. A lot of y'all may agree. A lot of you guys may disagree. I think that Teofimo Lopez is worth $3.5 million to headline a card, even if it's not a pay-per-view card. And the reason that he wanted that was to secure his purse of $3.5 million. Because you got to remember, after he pays taxes, after he pays the trainers and all that, Teofimo's probably taking home after that maybe 1.5, 2 at the very most. And I'm not 100% sure, man. I'm going off of what I hear about other fighters say when they have a purse guaranteed, but what they got to pay out after that. You know what I'm saying? I think that Top Rank was going to try to make the fight in Vegas and just pay the fighters off of a percentage of the pay-per-view sales, because ultimately in Las Vegas, the taxes are a lot lower, I'm assuming, than they are than somewhere like in New York City, to where Top Rank would still make their cheddar, and the fighters just be kind of happy with what they get off the pay-per-view sales. At that point, it's up to the fighters to be able to sell the fight to the public. Now, if you make those two the headline of a pay-per-view card, Matias and Teofimo Lopez, and the rest of the fights on the card are nothing special, now, as a promoter like Top Rank, you're able to just kind of pay out anyone whatever, because they're not making that much money to begin with, okay? You could throw a little bit here, a little bit there. Obviously, Teofimo, I'm assuming, would have gotten the bigger end of that, but that's assuming that it would have done anything. You know, like Teofimo said, even Top Rank was kind of sketchy if it was going to even break 100,000 pay-per-view buys. So Teofimo Lopez, being the man to go in the ring, you know, he's the one that's taking the risk. All the fighters, really. He's the one taking the risk. You know, he's the one risking his stock and pay-per-view falling. He's doing all that. And to not get a guaranteed purse of any substantial number is a risk that I see why he did not take. But Teofimo is smart, though. He was trying to push for the fight to be made somewhere in New York City or somewhere on the East Coast, right? Where it would have a bigger fan base because of Subriel Matias, right? Because Teofimo at this point, he's known everywhere. He's a star, we could say. He's just not a superstar in the sport just yet. So he was actually looking at it pretty good, but Top Rank was not trying to secure Teofimo Lopez $3.5 million for that fight, in which I could see it both ways. You know what I'm saying? I could see it both ways, but Top Rank trying to go the route of the pay-per-view and just pay a percentage off and then probably keep all the gate and all the revenue made in the arena, it would not be fair to the fighters. Therefore, I totally understand why Teofimo Lopez did not go through with this fight. I don't think he priced himself out at $3.5 million, to be honest with you. I could be wrong, but I mean, who knows, man? But yeah, so that's the real deal of what happened to it. I wanted to clear it up in case a lot of you guys didn't know. That's why that fight fell through, man. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. I love talking boxing with you guys, and I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Much love, and God bless y'all. Peace.